Welcome, everybody, to Geek the F Out.
We're all just vibing to the music.
It's so loud.
Is it that loud?
Are you going to say who you are? Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting there.
It's very loud.
It's like
Tell
under
me.
halfway. There, how's that? Is that better?
I don't know what to tell you. It's loud to me.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
I'm Lucha Johnny. Welcome to Geek the F Out. We're here to talk about Loki. Don't get pruned.
Okay.
Don't get
I guess I'm Kayla. I guess we're here. And we're joined by Sylvie. Sylvie is here.
Sylvie says hello.
You sure about
Hi,
that?
Sylvie.
She's upset. She didn't get any spaghetti.
I had
Did she get
lasagna.
McDonald's?
Is that close?
Yeah, I'm currently eating pasta because penne alla vodka is better than spaghetti bolognese.
Penne I was
Don't
gonna
mind
try
the
to
dog
start
drinking
quoting.
water.
I was gonna try to start quoting Eddie Izzard's Star Wars Canteen bit, and I screwed it up.
Eddie Izzard. Haven't heard him
Excuse
name
me.
dropped in a while.
If Johnny doesn't quote Eddie Izzard at least once an episode, check on his health.
Are you
on
Jeff
himself.
Vader?
Saying.
No, I'm Lord
Just
Vader.
saying.
Lord Darth Vader. Lord Vader of Cheam. Fine, I'm Jeff Vader. Can I have your autograph? Hey, so I'm Lucha Johnny. That's Silver K. We're not by ourselves. Obviously, we
Kayla.
have guests. It says Silver K.
No,
on the
we're
screen.
by ourselves.
We're by ourselves. These three people are figments of my imagination.
Yep. You're crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
You're
That
crazy.
explains a lot.
You're a variant of yourself. We're all variants of you.
Indeed.
There you go.
Well, welcome. We have some new guests, but we've been on their show. Marc and Mike from the Holdo Pod. We were on their
Hello.
show, and we have a returning guest. I realize I'm mirrored. Vactor. So welcome, everyone. Very excited to have y'all here to talk about some Loki.
Vactor,
Oh,
you were
yeah.
last on for it was Flash, I believe, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh wow.
You
Yes.
flashed
yes.
us.
I forgot about
Oh, boy.
that. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me
Was.
again.
Mhm.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah. I know we've been trying to get you to come back
What?
for some time now. So glad we were finally able to make it happen.
Yeah.
I feel like Vactor and I have a lot to say about Loki because I commented on one of his videos. And we're both very interested in this show, but I'm sure we'll get
See,
into that.
It's a great show.
I appreciate you watching Vactor's video, but the thing is, if I know I'm going to be talking with them about a show, I don't want to know their opinion until I'm talking with them.
I didn't watch.
That's just me, though.
I watched the previous episodes, which we covered on our own.
There you go.
Oh, okay. You didn't watch the new one?
I did not watch the new one yet. No, because he's
Good boy.
here. I know how this
Pat, pat.
works.
I don't know. Some people still do it. Anyways, we don't have any like set format for the show, so we can just
No worries.
get into it.
Total chaos.
Total chaos. Yeah, I mean, starting off the bat though, we get this scene with Miss Minutes and Renslayer, and then we get a flashback of He Who Remains with Renslayer. And I think we learn quite a bit from that. Also, dog is now eating Kong, so ignore those noises if you hear them.
Don't hear it.
It
Good.
sounds like slurping noises. Okay, good.
Oh.
Good job, Mike. You're worth your money.
By the way, while you're
Free?
you're
Yes.
on a tangent and not, before you start talking about the show,
Oh, we should
again,
probably
let's
say hi to
the
people.
chat. Yeah, Masterversal Toy Hunter
Just want to
Eldor is
talk
here.
about it.
I do too. But Mr. Wonderful,
Toy Elite.
Thanos Copter, the Vactorverse is pulling double
That's
duty
me.
on screen and in the chat. That's awesome. Or is that a variant behind the keyboard?
Ooh.
Oh, hey.
Never know.
All right.
His 10 pat is stolen.
Vactor timely. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're welcome.
Bravo.
Quiet you.
Quiet
Little
you.
mains.
I've
Quiet,
seen
dude.
He Who Lo Mains and He Who Ramens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Low
Perfect.
mains.
Those will be
I think
those.
flows
Lo Mains
better.
is better.
Yeah.
It does.
What you guys could say is that please excuse the crudity of this model and have time to build it to scale or to paint it.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Which is a great-
too.
Which was a great callback to, of course, Back to the Future. Callback
Yes.
Back to the Future. Haha.
Yeah.
Extra. Anyways.
Hey,
so,
we're in the chat too. Look at that.
I already commented. I said we're starting soon. You didn't need to comment again.
There you go.
I was
Yeah.
doing a bit. Continue. Now we can talk about the show.
Okay. First scene. Miss Minutes. Renslayer. He Who Remains throwback. He orders Protocol 42, aka Order 66, but for the MCU.
The
Essentially.
answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Yes. Thoughts on that and the fact that it is indeed a lost number. And yes, the answer to the universe. Go. Damn it.
Uh-oh.
We both clicked on it. Okay, we're all here. And
Gang's
go.
all here.
The gang's all here.
You go first, Vactor.
What was the
What?
question?
Oh my
It's on
God.
Order 66.
I
Order,
do
Marvel
all
Legends.
Protocol
of
42.
this?
Which is
Do all of
Protocol
this work
42.
for nothing.
Protocol 42 is what I wasn't real clear on what that meant. Was that that's
It
not the
erased
mind erasure?
Everyone's. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Did he say that to
It
Miss
is.
Minutes?
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
Okay.
it to Miss Minutes.
Okay.
Renslayer leaves, and then he's like, okay, Protocol 42 time.
So he erased the entire
Good job, Black Phoenix. Proud of you.
the memories of the entire TVA after, and I'm assuming this is they've just won the multiversal war. Don't know if they've gone to Disneyland yet, but it's time to erase their memories.
Correct.
Because it seemed like it was I don't know if I necessarily want to say debrief, but the conversation between He Who Remains and Ravonna seemed like a "we fucking won" kind of conversation.
Yeah.
And then when they come back from that flashback, Miss Minutes pretty much tells Renslayer, maybe we don't need him anymore. Maybe they never did.
Yeah, I was like, mutiny, or is it a coup, or what is it? Considering that's
I mean,
not
he's not really
technically-
around, so I don't know. It could be either of those.
The other thing to notice there too is like in that little dollhouse kind of like view that she got, that instead of like his kind of desk that he had when he was there by himself, is that there's like the two lounge chairs like side by side up there, like where his desk is now.
He doesn't do
So-
partners.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So. It's very
But yeah,
interesting.
I mean, do we any theories as to why everyone's memories were erased? Why was that needed? Anyone?
Why was
Don't
that
all talk at
needed?
once.
No, it just seems like it was part of his plan. Like that's how I took it. As like he had a master plan that Renslayer knew about, and then he had the alternate master plan that only he and Miss
Mhm.
Minutes knew about. Like, so he needed the one to get to the other, and since one was complete, he's like, okay, now let's do the rest. And
Yeah.
because he
I
wouldn't
mean,
he have
yeah,
known
it was-
Loki and Sylvie were coming to get him if he knew everything that was going to happen. Because in last season, there's that moment where he's like, right there, that moment, I don't know what's going to happen now. Right?
Unless
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
Unless it's all a loop.
I think it's a loop.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think that's.
Go ahead, Vactor.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say that I think that's the whole theme of this season is Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, the loop, everything that there is no start, there is no ending. It's just
Mhm.
everything is just a constant loop. So him erasing their memories, I feel like is either the start of the plan or the end of the plan. It's one of the things that finishes the loop and continues it,
Yeah.
forever. But Why? Why does is that the only way
I
that he
know.
comes to power?
Yeah,
I'm not
because
sure.
there's like a few like causal loop bootstrap paradox things that have
I was gonna
happened this
say it's
season
a
too.
bootstrap predestination paradox kind of
Yeah, like
thing,
the
which we talked about this a little bit in the last the coverage we did of 1, 2, and 3. This all flies in the face of the established time travel rules for
Exactly.
the MCU that were laid down in Endgame, which I'm sure is on purpose. Like
more
there's
guidelines. and
it's
rules.
not. I don't think this is a case of them
Throw out the cannon.
just ignoring it. I think they are
Throw the
purposefully
saber.
contradicting their own established time travel rules to show that there's something special and different going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Miguel O'Hara soon because he's gonna get upset with all the canon events that are being messed up.
You know, I would love that. Give me some Oscar Isaac all day. All day, baby. All day. He's great.
Live action Miguel. Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah.
What happens if Spider-Man 2099 interacts with Moon Knight interacting with Apocalypse?
The world would explode. They're all variants of each other.
That's true.
What happens if Thanos interacts with Cable? Like,
Yeah,
what are we gonna do?
exactly. There's a lot of crossover.
Or the
I don't-
original Johnny Storm interacts with Captain America.
Yes.
Or Johnny Storm interacts with Killmonger.
Or
Exactly.
why am I blanking on his character?
Or Spider-Man
Mr.
Noir interacts
Fantastic.
with Ghost Rider.
Mr. Fantastic interacts with Jim from The Office.
Nice.
Or
Or
Asian Jim interacts
Asian
with
Jim with Jim.
whatever his character's name is.
Jimmy
in
Woo.
WandaVision.
his name is also
Yes.
Jim.
Yes, that's right.
We'll start just watching The Office one day. What are they gonna do?
I know. They're like, that's us.
We could literally do this forever.
Tangent
Padme and Jane.
time.
Like you can just keep going.
Most
And
of the
those are
cast-
both Disney properties, so
Yeah,
that's
most of the
not
cast of-
outside the realm of possibility. Sorry, Mark.
Most of the cast of Into the Spider-Verse could be variants of MCU characters, basically.
It just seems like a
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool movie we're writing right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Four.
actually Deadpool 3.
Let's hope it's in Deadpool.
Or there's speculation that that's what
Secret Wars?
Secret War could be like, because almost everything is under the actual Disney Marvel umbrella now. So like your Fox X-Men, your old Fantastic Four, what's his name? Ben Affleck, Daredevil, like
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get everybody
Elektra.
into what it'd be ridiculous. But
Nick Cage is reportedly coming back as Ghost Rider.
Wesley Snipes, Blade, bring in
He ain't coming back.
I just, as
was,
long as
there was one.
Mahershala is there, I'm happy.
Get
Love
Blade
him.
versus Cottonmouth.
Anyway,
Anywho,
My brain's
Moving
going
on.
in too many directions now with like possibilities of what properties could
We
they
need-
theoretically bring back in.
a loop. Need to
But
break it
back
up.
to Loki.
We're on a
Last thing,
branched
we know
timeline.
whatever they do, they're going to ignore Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Basically,
because apparently that doesn't exist.
They always do.
they're going to
fine.
ignore
Even
the
though
first-
Agents
the second
Agents of Shield
Fantastic Four.
included MCU, but the MCU ignores Agents of Shield. It's not fair. It is a one-sided love affair. Not fair.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the only one that's come close to integrating TV and movies like we've always
Mhm.
wanted. The whole plan about
Yeah.
all the Disney Plus shows was like, hey, look, this is going to affect what's happening in the movies, and we're going to have these things. So everybody was all excited about this is like the comics. But I think so far, most of the Disney Plus shows have not affected the movies, or the movies haven't affected the shows that much. So I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been the most successful at that, at least.
Yeah.
That's why they
Well,
ignore it.
I mean, WandaVision
Yeah, that's
and
probably the
Luke,
closest.
like, yeah. WandaVision.
Oh, as far as her
definitely.
being like coming into Multiverse of Madness as a villain almost. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to have watched that to understand that backstory.
Yeah. I want more.
I know.
To answer the question that just popped up, I saw a report that if what's his name, who plays Kang there,
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
if his legal troubles go even more pear-shaped and they do replace him, Doctor Doom is lined up for the villain to replace Kang.
So,
What they should
quick,
do,
quick.
just have Terrence Howard play King.
Yeah. So here. So why
Red
bother?
Norton?
Like, what? Don't. It can still be Kang, right? Because we saw
Yeah.
fucking alligator Loki.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just not going to be Jonathan Majors playing. If that is the case, it's just not going to be him playing Kang anymore. Just
Right.
this is of any role that
This is
you
the
could
one.
do this without I can speak, I promise.
Batting an eye.
Without blowback.
Okay.
Just recast. Just put someone
Right.
else in there and be like, it's different
Yeah.
variants. Just do
Right.
it.
It's true.
Yeah. I think that definitely could be something. And I actually I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Ravonna being a variant of
Of
Kang.
Kang.
That was like their thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you
or
could.
Ravonna being Miss Minutes somehow, or Miss Minutes being Ravonna.
Maybe both.
This
Yeah.
is like
Minutes
some
is
Westworld
Kang.
type.
Is Ravonna.
I know.
It's an Ouroboros
Like-
again.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going into that. These theories are going into that territory of not every character has to tie back to something else. Miss Minutes can just be Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Ravonna can just be Ravonna. Just let them stand on their own and be their own thing without trying to tie everything into everything else.
But
Right.
that key lime pie is definitely a Mobius variant.
That's cannibalism.
Wait a
Have
minute,
you
yeah.
seen the theories about the pie and the hot chocolate and what they are?
What?
Oh, is that like the stuff
Do you-
that's
do you wanna
making
hear
erasing their
this?
memories?
I'm
Tell
not-
me.
Kind of. It's not the stuff that's erasing their memories, but it's literally anyone
Soylent Green?
who's yeah. Yeah.
It's people.
that.
What?
Mhm.
Soylent Green is
It's people from the TVA,
People.
and it's been turned into these the pie and the hot chocolate to keep them like going, to like keep them motivated. Because like, I mean, if you don't have memories and you don't really have a life, like, why are you still doing this?
Is that what that box
So-
does in that room? Just turns him into pie.
think I
and hot
heard-
chocolate?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
heard them. Yeah, exactly. I think it was New Rockstars that said it.
I mean,
No.
As
Look.
usual.
they have Nintendo DSs on their wrists that can open doors to other planes of existence and multiple
I love
realities.
key lime pie. Don't get me wrong.
That is way more
I should've
advanced
thought
than
key lime pie.
replicators from Star Trek. So I feel like, and replicators are matter conversion units. Like they take matter, they break up the atoms and rearrange the structure into a different type of matter. I feel like that's easier than time travel and alternate dimensions.
What about the Schick Razor from Star Wars? Where does that fall in all this?
Good question. Who knows? Anyways, so I almost said Vactor. Victor shows up at the TVA
Hey.
and starts wandering around, and then Moby and Loki find him quickly, followed by, well, technically B-15 finds him, quickly followed by Sylvie. And pretty much they're like, you're the only one that can fix this shit right now, so you're gonna have to come with us, whether you like it or not. And B-15 and Judge Gamble talk about Docs and the others and how they could maybe help and how the TVA needs to change. So it's good to see that like other people think it needs to change as well, and hopefully it can go on that path. But who knows now after that ending what the fuck's gonna happen?
Exactly. Everyone's a flying
s-
spaghetti monster.
Yeah, so they go and find Obi and Casey,
Mark
and
knows.
Obi and Victor just geek out over each other, and I just like love that moment between
yeah.
them. It was so stinking cute. Like, can you inscribe my? Go ahead, Johnny.
No, finish that thought. Finish that sentence.
That was it.
Can you inscribe what?
My handbook.
My manual or
Yeah, that's
handbook,
exactly
whatever
what
you
I was
said?
going to talk about. That's why I wanted you to finish the sentence.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's
I
going to get their
learned,
handbook
though.
signed. Like Casey tried to get.
Oh,
Casey
I
asked.
thought I saw him signing it though.
They started, but so
They started.
Someone
Casey
interrupted.
asked OB to sign his, and B15 was like, "Can we fix the problem going on outside the window?" And then if you watch the scene, so when Victor and OB are talking about inscribing each other's, Casey's in the background with his like me next.
Ready to go?
Yeah,
Really?
like,
Oh, I
totally
didn't
ready to
notice
go.
that.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder is my stand-in for the TVA guidebook. So he's like,
As you do.
he's like, he looks all excited because I don't think OB ever signed his. Maybe they did in a piece of downtime between now and then, but like
Oh, yeah.
nobody's gonna get their handbook signed because like this time it was Sylvie who was like, "Can we maybe like let these people geek out for 5 seconds, sign each other's books,
Right.
and then that extra 3 seconds isn't gonna mean the end of life,
I
the
mean,
universe, and everything."
End of time.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
they're just
Mike.
doing it for the comedy of it. But I
Yeah.
love Casey, Eugene Cordero. He plays Rutherford on Star Trek Lower Decks.
He
and
does.
boy.
his
I didn't
voice
realize
is-
that
Lower
until-
dicks.
He's also
Like,
That's a different show.
he's also Pillboy on
No, it's
on
the
Good
same
Place,
show.
too.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love him. But that's actually one of my favorite things about Loki is the cast, and everybody that they've cast in this show has been fantastic. I haven't seen a weak link in this cast. Like even the newcomers for this season, the returning people from last season, like everybody is just doing a fantastic job.
I did like in this scene too with like Obi just straight up saying it's like a snake eating its own tail.
Yes.
Like just basically the Leo pointing me and be like, "Oh, you just said what
Yes.
your name is."
Exactly.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Yes.
Like,
Plus,
should have just
I-
pointed at himself.
All right, I already referenced it earlier, but I did like the almost verbatim like reference and quote to Doc and Marty in Back to the Future with Obi sitting in for Doc, and Mobius was basically Marty in that scene. But I really liked that. And
Mhm.
That's
And
fantastic. The writers,
scale.
yeah, clearly Back to the Future fans.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's another property that's referenced later too, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
Okay.
It's in our,
Sounds
it's
good.
on our
The
spoilers
Spielberg
without
property you're
context.
talking about?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I knew that right away. Okay. So they geek out and show the model
I got
and
you,
the
Thanos.
plan and everything. So, prune me.
Prune him.
And it's funny because when they're explaining the plan, Obi throws shade at Sylvie. He's like, someone decided
Oh,
to
yeah.
kill he who remains and make my life hell. And she's like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And
What of it? Yes, and but yeah, there's going to be the temporal radiation problem, which clearly was a bigger problem that they even thought it was. And then Moby is like, "Oh, it's your turn, Loki," and he's like, "Why the fuck is it my turn?" He's like, "Well, it looks like you, and it's your turn." And Sylvie's like, "It doesn't look like anyone. It's just it has a helmet on."
Yeah,
Like
literally be
this
anybody.
this very irrational exchange. It was quite funny.
The comedy has
Mobius-
been great on this season.
Yeah.
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 It's
Mobius and
great.
Loki's banter has been fantastic since the first
Mhm.
episode,
Yes.
and it just continues. Those two are a fantastic pairing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
100%.
wouldn't mind seeing Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson just doing like anything
Make
together.
out?
Like it doesn't have to be. I mean,
No kiss. No kiss. I mean,
Kayla
it's
seems
it's in all the memes.
Kayla ships.
No, it's
Loki
the
and
whole
Mobius.
internet. The whole internet. His name. Okay,
oh, it's like
I'll
short
save it for the
goulash
meme.
now. Was it Loki X
Sure.
Owen, Or sorry.
You'll
Wait,
see.
that would be
You'll
different.
see.
Never mind.
It'll make sense later.
Okay.
Anyways, so Victor says he has a solution to the throughput multiplier problem, and then it's funny because Obi and Victor shake hands, and it's literally like, you know, they're pretty much shaking their own hand because they've like created
Oh, yeah.
themselves essentially. So it's like shaking your own hand. Anyways, Moby wants pie. Yes.
I was just gonna say I noticed that Sylvie cocked that too and kind of made like a
Oh, she did.
kind of disgruntled-ish face to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
wasn't
you could
talking
say
about
you.
Sylvie and
Indeed.
Loki are the same person, and they make up like. Isn't that just a big
Yeah.
masturbation joke right there when they kiss?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Just making out with yourself. Moby wants pie while they wait, and Sylvie gets real mad at him. She's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" with the pie, and calls him out for never checking his timeline. And I'm like, let him eat his pie.
Yeah.
He's eating his feelings.
Sylvie needs to fucking chill because, like, what
Calm
else
down.
can they do?
she is
Like,
chilling.
realistically, what can Mobius, Loki, and Sylvie do in the amount of time that it's going to take Obi and Timely and Casey to get the throughput multiplier up and running and enact their plan? Like, they're not going to come up with another plan from scratch and get it done before the other three finish their plan. So go have some fucking pie and let's see what happens.
Exactly.
I mean, you were talking about
Exactly.
the one other thing that they'd have time to do, like a few minutes ago.
Make out.
Little bit
Let them
after
eat
that.
cake.
Never mind.
Sign
Yeah,
books?
and then yes, that's what the kids are calling it these days. And let's see, Bradley talks to Docs in the holding cell. I don't know what to call that place.
Yeah, that seems good enough as any.
Yeah, and he's trying to like rally them, and he's like, "You've earned to have your lives on the timeline." And then B-15 comes in and tries to plead with Docs and is like, "Please help us. We know you care about the TVA. Like, Renslayer wants to like fuck shit up." And then the irony of all ironies, Sylvie accidentally goes to the pie room.
So, hang on. For B-15 and Docs, I feel like if you have
yeah.
to ask someone if you can trust them, you pretty much already have your answer.
Mhm. Which, I mean, later Doc says, like, you know, she thinks that B-15, I don't know if she says trustworthy or she says something. You're really throwing that Kong around, girl. She's literally throwing it across the room. I don't know if you can hear it. Don't do it again. Nope. Okay. Anyways. No thoughts on that.
What did I don't think you finished your thought. You got distracted by the Kong.
No, I was waiting for someone to correct if she said trustworthy or what
I think-
was later
I think it was
on.
just that she swayed her enough with like, at least with how adamant or like how much she could tell like she cared about like her new like mission set for that. Not maybe not necessarily like that she trusted her, but that even if she didn't agree with her, she could, I guess, respect like where she was coming from with what she wanted to be able to do now with the new TVA as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, I forget. Yeah,
B-15 asked, "How can we trust you?" or "Can we trust you?" And then Docs asked B-15, "How can I trust you?" And then that was it. That was the end of the trust conversation.
Circle
and then when
of trust.
And then there was a little bit of a different conversation later when Ravonna came in. But between B-15 and Docs, it was B-15 asking if they can trust Docs, and Docs asking how she could trust B-15. And B-15 was like, "We both love the TVA. That's what is going to show that we can trust each other." But there wasn't, I don't think there was any decision at that point made on either side.
Yeah. Anywho,
And then the pie room.
pie room. So Loki defends Mobius, which was kind of sad that Moby couldn't see this happening, because I think Moby was probably just like, oh, he left, so he's taking Sylvie's side. So little does he know his boyfriend has his back. And they talk about restarting things versus fixing things, and how hope is hard. And Sylvie says, whatever they do, we're playing God. And Loki's like, we are gods, honey.
That was a
Which was very
fantastic line.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Is that concerning at all, though, that Loki is kind of talking slightly a bit like old Loki?
But he is old Loki.
I don't think
I know,
he
but
was.
he's old Loki,
What do
but
you mean
he's
you don't think he
new
was?
Loki. He's the new old.
Yeah.
Old
New old you.
It's an Ouroboros there.
My
Yes.
perception of Loki in that scene was before the series, when Loki was like, we're gods. It's like, I am a god. You should respect me. I am better than you. Bow down. This was Loki going, we are gods. It is our responsibility to take care of these people. This is why we are here. It's a completely,
Okay.
it's not, we are gods. It's, we are gods.
And you have the capability of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well use your power for good.
Yeah.
That's how
I hope
I
that's what
clocked
it
that
is.
scene.
Okay. I can
And
see that.
just the delivery of that line when he was like, because she's like, it sounds like playing God, and he's like, but we are gods.
Oh yeah, because he talked about, like, he said he thought Thor had gone soft. Basically, kind of recapping the events of the first Thor movie to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, we keep getting these replays of the movies that he was in.
Or at least the ones this one was in up to this point, which I guess were the only two
Yeah.
that technically this one would have been in.
Yeah, because Thor 2 was after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy. And then we have scene 1 of crazy tits scenes of this episode, which is Renslayer and Miss Minutes show up to the holding cell. And Ren says that if they go with her, they can have life on the timeline if they want it. Bradley is the only one that stays behind. The rest are put in a box and squished. And Miss Minutes is looking on so happily, like the little fucking psycho she is. Yeah, she is very
She's
excited
like,
to see squished.
I have nothing to add to that.
Someone's gonna screen grab this now and be like, yeah.
Yeah. I literally put in all caps, Miss Minutes is psycho. Absolutely.
She is.
psycho.
It's like,
Like, we already knew she was psycho for, like, being, like, stalker girlfriend vibes before, but, like,
putting her head on
seeing
the
people...
freaking mannequin.
Yeah, seeing people be brutally murdered, especially in that way, and being excited about it, girl needs so much therapy. So
Natalie
much
Holt's
therapy.
score during that scene was really good too, though, helping to kind of like, because I mean, obviously we don't see any of
Them
that,
squished.
but
We
yeah,
don't
but
see the
right.
squish.
But between all of the actors that were witnessing its face, and then like later when B-15 comes in and sees it, and the music, we can kind of, make your own assumption to what that cube of a bunch of people looked like after that.
Oh,
Well, we
and
heard it, like,
You heard this.
Like,
yeah.
squelching and
squish
dripping.
in the steam.
Yeah.
Ugh.
My note for that is Miss Minutes is a sadistic piece of work.
Yeah, she's psycho.
Also,
Absolutely psycho.
so this ties back to something I said in our last coverage of episodes 1 to 3. Sylvie. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Sylvie kicked Ravonna through the time door. I asked, like, why? What good is it going to do? Because she didn't take the tempad. She
Right.
might not have known that she had one, but obviously, her kicking her through the time door to the end of time didn't make a difference because she just came out.
Came right back.
Sylvie just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Sylvie doesn't give 2 fucks.
She does not.
And I guess not. There were alarms going off later, and I was like, are there alarms for Renslayer like infiltrating? But I guess if it's a temp pad, it probably wouldn't be like clocked to, because they were tracking her through her temp pad, so they should have, if they were smart, set off a system to sound an alarm when she tried to door teleport.
But wasn't the temp pad she had modified? Wasn't that the one, what's his face, who became the actor had that was modified? Or
although, and then they're probably
sure.
Right when they got there, I'm assuming Miss Minutes kind of took over.
She was infiltrating the system. That's why they had to shut her down. That's true.
Fair points.
And also, they were heavily distracted by something else.
Like me right now. Okay, so then we have Moby, which I'm just gonna keep calling him Moby because it's like Moby, Loki, Obi. We talked about this before. Sylvie. They all kind of rhyme. Sylvie. They all rhyme.
He who remains. Wait.
Yeah. Timely.
There you go.
Just saying. Don't think it's a coincidence. Moby checks in on Vic, Obi, and Casey. And Moby is drinking cocoa, and Victor is obsessed with this hot cocoa. He's like, what is this? It comes from a machine? He everyone hold up your cocoa that you're drinking. I'm very jealous.
He wanted to check out the machine earlier. When they're first walking down the hall.
He did.
He was like, can we go look at, and they were all like, no, that's not important. Let's go do this. So he was like, was on that machine the moment he passed by it.
I wonder if there's something in the handbook about it.
I don't know. But he had that chair with like the refrigerator in it for...
Oh, yeah, with the root beers.
Yeah. So maybe he's just an enthusiast of temperature-controlled beverage machines.
Lots of people are.
No, when they went... when they went to the machine, too, and like after he gets him to drink it, and then he's like yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't understand that scene.
Maybe he just got really excited. He's like, yeah.
The ragtime, the goofy ragtime music behind it, and the face that he makes. I just didn't understand what the deal was with that.
Yeah.
So, he got a memory because it's people.
Part of me thinks, based off of like seeing like films where there's kind of like a cyclical, like Groundhog Day type thing going on, that almost felt like a scene where they draw attention to it because you're gonna see that scene again.
Maybe.
And it feels weird and out of place the first time you watch that cycle through, but then when you see it happen again, you're like, oh, that's why they highlighted it now. And that's a theory, because
that's a fair point. It's possible.
It just seems so like random to like whatever everything else that was going on. It feels like it's going to be retroactively important to something later on.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope so. I hope it's not completely.
Or it could just be a weird ass scene.
Who knows?
There's only 2 left.
I know, it's crazy. So then we see, B-15 sees the squished people, which must have been horrifying. That turn into chocolate milk and key lime pie. And she tries to use a temp pad.
That was That was like a nice like juxtaposition cut from seeing the spilt hot chocolate to cutting to her reaction of seeing all the people.
Indeed it was. And then she tries to use her temp pad or whatever that was, and access denied. You didn't say the magic word. Like, they totally pulled that from Jurassic Park.
Oh, 100%. Like, I think if I remember correctly, the Miss Minutes on the screen was actually doing the finger point.
She was.
She didn't say you didn't say the magic word. She just said access denied. But the was like the same cadence and everything. It was absolutely a Jurassic Park reference.
I wonder
Newman.
I wonder what the actor who played Odin on Asgard would have thought of that, or the Grandmaster would have thought of that.
Grandmaster. Nope. He didn't see it, did he? Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park?
No, well, I mean, neither of them saw that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if they were
Nick
ever in
Fury.
the room where they said, yeah, Nick Fury would
Nick-
know it.
Yeah, Nick
Oh
Fury. would be like,
yeah,
Nick Fury
he
variant.
literally. Yeah.
David Hasselhoff?
Oh shit.
Don't hassle the Hoff.
interactive CD-ROM.
Oh my god.
It's a Linux.
It's a
Anywho,
Linux system. Yeah, that's what
Victor-
the TVA is. It's a Linux system.
Yeah.
oh, but it's after
And
that.
no one knows how to use it.
So Victor finally gets, he gets his hot cocoa. It's after she sees the squish peeps. So I don't know about that then.
Flip
I
that and
think-
reverse it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
'cause
wondering. Because I had the Jurassic Park reference noted before the hot cocoa,
Mhm.
and
it is.
I didn't question it that I was wrong because my notes for Stranger Things were all out of order on Monday. So
It happens. Yeah. So blah blah blah. So Bradley gets pruned. Or no, Bradley prunes the TVA agent, and Obi says files are being corrupted in real time by Miss Minutes. Everyone meets up and they're like, fuck, Timely's gone. Docs and the team are dead. They have a little powwow together. Loki says that Renz wants the TVA, like they're not going to go back to the timeline. Bradley takes Victor to see Renz and Miss Minutes, which it was very reminiscent of like, oh, like running into your like ex. Like,
Alright.
oh, so glad you guys are okay. It's very,
he's trying to pull
very
a con
awkward.
again. Like he immediately goes back into con man mode.
Yeah, he does. What are you doing?
But they're not trusting.
No, definitely not. And Ren's Slayer asks where Timely's device is. Sylvie gets stuck in elevator, and then we get the scene from the first. Well, a little bit after that, we get the scene. But Moby, Obi, Casey, and B-15 show up at the loom. That's a lot of names. And that's when Sylvie's elevator stops and she hot wires it. And that is when Loki
Quite
prunes
easily.
himself. Yeah. Loki prunes himself, just like we saw in the first episode. But we didn't know who it was, but we all figured it was Loki.
Mhm.
So it's like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban when
knew it
he
could
realized he was the one that cast the Patronus because he had already done it. There you go.
That's what I was
That
gonna
might
mention
come up in
with,
memes.
Snap with Timely there was we were going to see someone like in an invisibility cloak walk around and you see all these things that are like, why, what is happening here? Like, that's all.
You never
Yeah.
know.
The magic's back on. They can probably be something.
Is it
Yeah.
off yet at that point?
No,
Is it what?
at the end of the episode, it's definitely on.
Yeah, okay. I was asking if the magic was turned off yet, but
It's
I-
right after this. Right after he prunes himself, he answers the phone, and it's Obi on the
Turn
other end
it off.
asking how they're doing.
And they're like, turn it off. Like,
Yeah.
reset it.
the thing with him pruning himself, this is sooner than we expected. Like in our last stream, we at least Chris predicted that it was going to be like the last episode, and I agreed. Like I figured we'd get that scene in the final episode of the series. I didn't expect it was going to be in this one.
I thought he was going to prune Sylvie in this series, at this season,
Again.
because she's like going to interfere with what they're trying to do, and he's just going to be like, I have to do this, and like,
I don't think pruning Sylvie is going to do any good unless he gets He Who Remains his temp pad from her, because she's got He Who Remains his temp pad.
fair.
So we'd have to see him confiscate that first. If he takes it from her, then keep an eye out, because that would be the time to.
Just going back to the drive-through.
Which, yeah, I get that she's stressed.
Lots of people
like,
have worked at McDonald's.
and worried about
Nothing wrong with that. That's just where she'll go.
Worried about the timeline that she settled in, like getting destroyed. But she needs to chill out. Needs to relax.
Have they said what? Like, is it just because she's like at ease on her timeline, or is there something specific about this timeline that she's? Have they mentioned?
I don't
the
know. Mm-mm.
I mean, I know at least as far like Vactor knows too, but like that, I'm not sure if everyone else knows. But the like where she chose is like a subtle kind of like Easter egg to the comics, where as far as to where New Asgard was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard that in a
Gotcha.
breakdown.
Braxton,
Yes.
right? Is the name?
Yeah.
Of it?
Broxton,
Mhm.
yes,
Broxton.
Oklahoma. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
New
New Asgard
Asgard.
was
It was
somewhere else.
Vactor would
In
be
the
proud of me. I knew
comics,
that
though.
before the show.
Yeah. So yeah, they're like, turn off the magic dampener, and Miss Minutes gets very glitchy and breaks down / goes offline. But right before she does, she's like, "You'll never be him," in a very spoopy face. Which, granted, everything we've seen from her now, like she scares me. I will have nightmares about her.
You better run.
Yeah. Bradley goes down the hallway. Sylvie uses magic to at first I thought she was just like taking him out, but then she ends up, invading his mind. So then he goes back in and ends up pruning Renslayer. And Loki and Sylvie get Victor and bring him to Loom to do his temporal aura scanning. And they scan his head, which of course he's like, "Is this safe?" And they're like, "Probably." And Loki's like, "It's fine." I'm like, "Loki, you don't know it's fine. I get that you need to get this done, but damn, okay." And pretty much Victor, he volunteers as tribute and is like, "I'll put the suit on," which did not see that coming. And he's like, "Well, it makes sense because I can fix the throughput multiplier. So, like, I should be the one to do it just in case," which, yes, that does make sense. And then he turns into spaghetti.
The flying
like
spaghetti
in
monster.
Quantum Mania. Like in Quantum Mania and Multiverse of Madness.
And if you like really watch it too, you can see like the ribs at one point,
ribs.
and like part of his like
Mhm.
jaw at another point there too.
Mm-hmm.
I did not really watch it, I guess. I did not know
Yeah.
this.
If you really want to see
Yeah.
that breakdown,
You'll notice it.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh, you
that
will.
moment was great because it subverted your expectation of, oh, he's going to save the day. The last second plan is going to
Yep.
work.
Yep.
But that
Nope.
led
not
to
today,
our
Satan.
jaws dropping at the end of the episode.
Exactly.
So that was fantastic.
Yeah. It was also really cool. I mean, gross, but cool how it happened where he spaghettified and then the spaghetti disappeared.
Yeah. It's like-
Yeah. Like poofed. And pretty much, because of that, the loom explodes and they're all watching it. And it's cool how they like panned to everyone's reactions. And then we get like this close up of my boyfriend, aka Tom Hiddleston. And he's just like, "Holy fuck."
They should have put a clip from Oppenheimer in there.
Oh, I know. Oh, that would have been good.
That
Aw,
also
little Lego.
was a great like visual
That's what the show.
of that closing shot before everything happened.
Mhm.
It just like looked fantastic. Like this show, I think, is the closest thing we have in the MCU to Andor, to me, in the Star Wars
Agreed.
universe. Like it just looks great.
Looks
And
great,
I wish it was
written well.
Andor. Yes, all of those things are true. I wish it was Andor length. I wish it was 12 episodes because being 6,
Well-
I feel like we're skipping over stuff. Like there's certain things that I'm like, oh, I wish they would elaborate on that a little bit more. If we had spent a little bit more time with Victor, that his
Mhm.
death would have
Meant
shocked
something.
us even more. Yeah, and it would have we would have had a more
I think we
emotional
got
reaction.
a good amount of time. I don't know if we needed an emotional reaction.
I mean,
But like I mean, I still like felt it. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Mhm. I immediately was like, I gotta watch this again.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like we got a lot from him. Was it last episode? I'm
Yeah,
already
the
blending them all
episode 3
together.
was
Yeah,
basically
he
all
only
in.
appeared in
1893.
2. Yeah.
3 and 4.
Yeah, 1893. And like this episode too, like we got some cute moments and just him with like the hot chocolate and him like geeking out over Obi. Like I feel like we got a decent amount of not character development, but just what is that
Time.
called? Just like
Time.
Always.
not time. Just like character.
Arc.
No, oh, never mind.
Okay.
Ignore me.
So, Vactor,
Fuck
I
you.
expressed similar once in our previous stream, like especially around like Doc's and her motivation and the pruning of all the timelines. Felt like they could have spent so much more time establishing those things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I said one of the only critiques I've had is at the end of, I guess it was episode 2 when B-15 is looking and all the timelines are being pruned, like those are people, like felt disingenuous.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
I get it. Like there are all these timelines, billions of people on each one, but the just the delivery of the line felt off to me, and maybe it's just because there wasn't a whole lot of development of that whole subplot of Doc's and her team just pruning everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I really feel like this show is really focused on payoff versus setup. Like there's a lot of payoff. Like we're seeing like these huge moments of payoff, but the setup to that payoff has not been as the focus has not been on
Yeah.
that as much.
Mhm.
So a lot
I
of
don't
those
have
things
time.
with that, yeah, exactly. Just having those 6 episodes. I wonder who chose that length, for this show, because it just feels like
Yeah, I
they
don't
had a little bit
know.
more. Plus, I
'cause,
just
like,
want to
Yeah,
spend more
even
time
just
with
like
these
8
guys.
episodes.
Yeah, even
because
8.
like some of the
Because
shows
I
could use less episodes, some could use more.
Yes.
yeah.
Like I
'Cause
thought
I know
She-Hulk
for
had
the-
the perfect amount.
She-Hulk
Yeah,
had the
She-Hulk
most
was
episodes,
great.
didn't it?
Yeah,
Out of all
so
the Marvel
far.
stuff.
I think that sounds right.
Which I'm
How many did She-Hulk have?
I think 9.
Was it 10?
It
Oh,
was 9.
I don't remember.
To the
I love
Google.
She-Hulk.
930 million.
IMDb.
episodes.
9 episodes.
But I felt
Okay.
She-Hulk could have lost one. Like there's one like episode I was like that was just garbage. Like throw it away.
Toss it.
Well,
Yeah, it's I think because season 1 got fucked because of COVID, and so I think maybe it was supposed to be longer. I feel like I vaguely remember seeing something about that. Well, I remember it was supposed to be more grand, like they were supposed to travel over the world, and obviously
Mm.
couldn't do that
Yeah.
because of COVID, so they had to scale it back. So I swear I read something that also impacted the number of episodes, but I'm not sure.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm really
So
interested
I
to
don't know if
see-
they're just doing the same thing with the second season by also making
Yeah.
it 6.
I just really want to see what the going forward in the MCU is going to look like for TV shows, because I
Yeah.
think especially after Secret Invasion, Marvel is definitely going to take a different path of, okay, we're going to have a showrunner, we're going to have a traditional, like an actual plan, but instead of, all right, just as we're going here, make up the story and we'll just do this. Like, I feel like there's going to be more structure going forward, but I just want to see
Mhm.
what Marvel is going to do after the stuff that's already been shot, like Echo and the stuff that I feel like they're just going to dump it out.
Well, I don't know if Daredevil falls into this, but I saw they finished Daredevil. They watched it, and Kevin Feige was just like, "Nope, garbage. Start over."
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
really interested to see what they do.
I do believe I saw like they're doing Daredevil with the approach of like having a showrunner and a dedicated
Yes.
person working on it and doing like, is it 12 episodes?
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
heard. I
Believe-
think I heard that.
It was going to be 8. It's 18 episodes, but
Oh.
it's 2 seasons of 9 episodes.
Oh.
I guess when they
Okay.
initially announced it, they were just like 18 episodes, but those 18 episodes are spread across 2 seasons. They didn't. They said that part quietly.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So it's
What's What's interesting though is that the person that's going to be the showrunner for it now was the showrunner for the Punisher Netflix series.
Oh,
Which is kind of interesting. And then
I don't think
the
I've ever watched
directors.
that.
Was it any good? Do we need?
I didn't watch that one either.
what?
I mean, I love John Berthnall because
I watched all the way up to the Defenders, and then I watched season 3 of Daredevil. That's all of what I've seen of the Netflix series. So I watched.
Okay.
Did you watch Jessica Jones?
Yeah, I watched. So I'm saying
Okay.
I watched all of the things that were released up to the Defenders,
got
and then
it.
I watched Daredevil season 3, and then I haven't watched any of the stuff that happened after that.
So according to Wikipedia, what if?
Which is
Which is
true.
always correct.
That's why I'm quantifying it. So take it with a grain of salt. What if is scheduled to have 9? That's December of this year.
Yes.
Echo has a to be announced. There's no word on how many episodes. It's January of
I saw
2024.
something not good about Echo.
Agatha
I don't have any
Darkhold.
confidence in Echo.
Agatha Darkhold Diaries is late 2024. Is supposed to have 9 episodes.
Formerly
Ironheart-
known as House of Harkness, formerly known as
Oh my god, it's changed its name so many times.
what was the other one?
Why does it keep changing its
House of
name?
Coven of Chaos.
Yes.
Some our Vactor and my friend Dakota, his theory is that each of these new titles for the show is a new episode title that they're slowly releasing out over the course of the time until the show actually gets released. And the show's just called Agatha.
that would be funny.
You know what would?
Huh.
This is probably not the case, but you know what would be fucking awesome if the title was changing because of stuff that's happening in like the multiverse.
That'd be funny too.
That would be great.
So stuff that is like kind of an alternate reality game kind of marketing. The reason the title changes is because stuff changes in the multiverse in the MCU. That
I
would be
love
awesome.
that.
That's probably not the case.
Probably
But
not the case.
Oh yeah.
and then the
Wish.
other
They're not
one
that smart.
is Ironheart
Did I
is
say that?
scheduled to be 6 episodes. No release information yet. And
I
then-
also don't have any confidence in Ironheart.
It's hard to have any confidence in any of these things. Let's be honest.
That's why I'm hoping this new approach that they're taking, like going back to the drawing board with Daredevil, restarting
Mhm.
everything. I hope it's for the better and for the good, and that it's more connected, like Agents of Shield. Where it's
Yeah.
like something happens in the movie, and then immediately you go back to the show.
Justice
and
for
it's like,
Agents of Shield.
yeah, I really want to see that.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I mean, this just stands out so much compared to the rest of the Disney MCU shows. And like, I don't get why the rest of them weren't like this. Like, WandaVision was good, but I don't think it was good as this. Is someone cold?
No, are we done talking about like the episode itself and getting into general discussion about
Yeah.
the series? Okay,
Go ahead.
this is what I want to say.
You
This
left
show
He left to
is-
come back.
so dramatic.
This show is the first thing that has sucked me in the way like Star Trek: The Next Generation did. Like I want the TVA technical manual, I want the guidebook, but I don't want
yeah.
like the kitschy. They're gonna put out a guidebook and it's a journal and half of it's blank.
Right,
I want
right.
like breakdowns of temp pads and what the circuits in them are called, where the chips are sourced, what kind of crystals they use to open time doors.
You
I
want
want to
some
know
that,
Kyber.
what this
with
the
is
actual-
made of.
People.
Yes.
Like, what is this material? How does this thing work? I want schematics. I want diagrams. I want the Star Trek: The Next Generation technical manual for the TVA. That is a 130 some odd page book. It's like the owner's guide to the
Nerd.
Enterprise. I've read it cover to cover multiple times.
Nice.
Nerd.
I heard inside that stick is prune juice. That's how they prune
what
you,
she
so it turns you into
said.
prune
Ah.
juice.
A warrior's drink.
Ew.
Yeah, this show I think has me more excited. I haven't been this excited since WandaVision, I think. So I just hope Marvel can
Did it give you
get
a
back to
Ralph?
this.
You
I
said
don't
you've
know what
been
that
this
is.
excited since WandaVision. Did it give you a Ralph?
I still don't know what that is.
What's Ralph's last name? You know what
Ralph
Ralph's last name is.
Wiggum?
on WandaVision.
Now I'm blanking.
You know
Ralph.
exactly what his last name
WandaVision.
is.
Oop.
Ralph.
Evan
What is
Peters
it, Johnny?
played the role of Ralph on WandaVision.
Oh,
Hold up.
I don't
B O
remember.
H.
Yeah. That's right.
That's the
Boner.
best reaction.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
who
right.
the fuck was
all,
Ralph?
all that setup for that little payoff.
Yeah.
See, that's what Loki didn't do. Not enough setup.
Ralph.
You did too much
Wiener.
Yes.
The wiener.
Side
Boner.
note to that, I
It's
think
pronounced
ultimately
boner.
that character is going to end up being Quicksilver from the X-Men universe. It's like
No.
yeah, it could be, or it's a variant
You never
of
know.
that character.
Didn't they already
Yeah, that
have
would be cool.
Quicksilver? Yeah, that was
They
him.
did.
No?
Kick-Ass. They're both kick-ass.
Hey, that's
Mhm.
Craven the Hunter to you.
Yeah, they can meet each other.
Oof.
Well, Kraven the Hunter's dad is Zeus.
Oh yeah.
So
Guys, we need more actors and actresses and actri.
Act
Like
right.
this is getting old. It's the
I just
same
wanna-
people.
see,
People just don't want to do Marvel, so they
I
had to
just
reuse
want
them.
to see
Well,
Brett
it's
Goldstein
all,
again
like-
as Hercules.
Yeah, what is that? What are we gonna like?
I want him
there
to
hasn't
be
been anything
here,
announced for that.
there, and
Roy
every
Kent.
effing where.
Yes.
Roy Kent.
I saw someone dressed up last night as
Jerry
As
Curl Roy
Ted.
Kent.
no, as Ted. And I was like driving and he looked almost exactly like him that I did a double take and I was like, whoa.
Nice.
I couldn't slow down and take a picture though because I was driving.
Ah,
Anyways. Any other overall thoughts for the episode before Johnny prunes us all? I'm slightly terrified. You are very obsessed with that thing,
I am. It's fucking awesome.
It's quite phallic.
as you should be. And it was featured heavily in this episode.
Come here, Sylvie.
Yes.
Sylvie needs to be shown
Um.
in all her glory.
So,
She wants her crown taken off.
yeah, but this is.
There you go.
Too bad. Oh, baby.
So yeah, this is the show that has really drawn. Like, I want to know all the world building stuff, all the ephemera, all the tech
What's for brick?
details.
yes.
Yeah.
The world building has been fantastic in this show.
So
Mhm.
I have a question. What were you gonna say, Kayla? Go ahead.
I mean, what the fuck do we think is going to happen next episode?
I have no idea.
I
I
can't
was
answer that
so-
question because I watched
do
the
we-
trailer.
Okay, well, fuck
Yeah,
you.
you're
You're
I
gonna
was
get pruned. Not Sylvia.
shocked.
Sylvia can stay. She's a good girl. Good girl. Yes, you are.
She
I
yawned
was
at that.
shocked that like there wasn't because it went to black and there was
There was a pause.
there
It's
was
like
a
10 or 15
a
seconds.
Yeah.
pregnant pause
There you go.
before
Why does
like-
it have to be pregnant?
just because that's the
That's
word.
the word.
Its alliteration is fun. That felt like we were gonna get
Oh wow.
Sylvia was like, fuck this.
She's trying to prune me.
Yeah.
Gotta get
there
that
was
pie.
a pause that felt like it was gonna go somewhere, like we were gonna
Yeah.
go to a different
exactly.
location or see something, and then it just went to the credits. Like it stayed on black
Yeah.
longer than it normally would before they would jump to credits. So that was
There was
interesting. I'm
also-
sitting at the screen. I'm like, where are we going? What are we gonna see? What's
Mhm.
gonna happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bum bum. Like you mother.
Mhm. There was also music at some point. I don't know if it was the music at the very end, but it sounded so much like something else. And now I'm totally blanking on what it was, and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. But I was like, did they really just like use the soundtrack from this other thing here?
I think you were talking about too. I think I said that too. I was like, this is familiar.
Yeah. Okay. You guys talk amongst yourself while I go listen to it
You
and figure it
feeling
out.
So here's my
Yeah, that-
question. Or well, she asked if do any of you have any predictions about where it's going to go, except for Mark because he cheated
Not on purpose.
unintentionally.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be reset, but I don't know what like comes out of the reset. Like, how does it reset, and then why does it reset?
Well, we
Those are
know
things that I'm interested in.
we likely know because there was a scene in the first trailer of Loki standing in front of the jet ski dealership. So we know that is coming. We haven't seen that. I'm assuming based on that like all the timelines are reset and that's Loki's going to go there and find Mobius. We're going to see Mobius's life on the timeline before he became a TV. He doesn't call himself an agent. He calls himself an analyst. So I don't know exactly what his job was before. He says he said more than once, I think, I'm just an analyst.
Is he a therapist analyst?
I don't know.
One of the first trailers showed Ravonna with like the basically in like the what was it? The hell, like where like all the stuff that gets pruned goes, the void.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like in one of those first trailers
with Alioth.
Yeah.
Or Eliath, however.
so
you say
yeah,
it.
that's where she is for sure. Because we already got fooled in the first season when Loki got pruned, and it was like, oh, we thought he died, but no.
Well, Mobius and Loki both. I think it was actually Mobius first, wasn't it? He got pruned,
right.
and we didn't know what happened to prune people yet.
Right.
Yeah. Which also was the 4th episode of the first season when Loki was pruned. So they're doing a little mirroring with this one. Anyways, I'm still trying to figure out the music.
But you know what? Just like Johnny, I want to know the full TVA timeline of when the Time Lords were created, like when all of this lore was set up, when his face got covered up at the TVA. I want to know all of the like the history of the TVA is fascinating to me. So that and I also love that they're playing with the comic book version of this, like everything that happened in the TVA in the comics and Mobius and those things. It's changing for the show and it's subverting the expectations of comic book readers. So I'm loving all of these things that they're doing.
Some of that TVA stuff is in that new MCU timeline book that just came out.
Ooh.
There's a little bit about the TVA in there, but it's only like season 1 specific stuff because that book ends at the end of phase 4, so it only goes up through the Guardians holiday special as far as stuff that was released.
Yeah. I also want to know, so when the magic dampeners were turned off, do the Infinity Stones now work?
I was wondering that myself.
In the
that,
TVA?
I don't think so because they specifically said something about like they don't work when they're not within the different
That
realities
universe.
that they came from.
Gotcha.
So I think that's.
But I thought the reality stone can go between realities.
You would think.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it was the security protocols in general that had to be shut down to deactivate Miss Minutes, and one of the things of those is the magic dampeners, which I wouldn't. I suspect it's possible that was not the case in the first season when they said magic doesn't work here. Because they didn't say magic doesn't work here because of the security system. They just said magic doesn't work here. Mm-hmm. And then this season they decided, more world building. It's because of the security dampeners that they have purposefully installed. It's not just a property of the place where the TVA is.
I couldn't find it. I was watching it and like I'll have to watch it again and then I'll be like, you idiot. I meant to write it down and then forgot. But it sounded like music from something else.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the beginning of next episode is Loki, because we're likely gonna follow Loki. Loki's gonna wake up somewhere and be standing in front of a jet ski dealership and see Mobius.
Yeah.
And Mobius isn't going to know who he is. Because my initial prediction at the end of last season was like that this entire season was going to be, Loki trying to convince the TVA who he was and what he knew. But they resolved that in
pretty quick.
The first 10 minutes of the first
so
episode.
Too.
I thought that was going to be the whole season.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't. I feel like that trope has definitely been used before, and I like this new one. I like where they're going. I don't know where they're going. I mean, I think it's somewhere along the lines of what you just said, Johnny, for sure. But I like that we don't know where it's going. Kind of like with Ahsoka, like we didn't know what was going to
Yes.
happen the next episode.
That's cool.
Mike,
Yeah,
what about
I'm getting
you? What
I'm
did you
getting
have?
tired of things that I can predict.
I was kind of thinking not specifically what you were thinking, Johnny, but they're just it's gonna open off in this like peaceful place. Like it's just gonna be no chaos. Loki's gonna be there.
Thanos's garden.
There you go, something like that. It's just gonna be like, okay, there's no chaos. Everyone's back to where they were, except Loki.
It's a
He's gonna
peaceful
be
life.
doing something to not trying to convince people of what's going on, but he's just in the wrong place, also trying to figure out what's going on again. Like it's gonna reset, and Miss Minutes will come back online in some fashion, and we'll see He Who Remains be like, did it work? Did my plan work?
I will say there was another shot from one of the original trailers where it shows Loki walking out onto
Yeah.
that, just, as
He's
Loki
free
now.
balling it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just,
As you do.
walking out there.
Vactor.
What?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the suit on.
He's free, loving every minute of it.
Technically, they would be
I
blue
wish
too,
he was
since he's a
free-balling
frost
it.
giant.
So
Wah, wah.
here's the question that I had that I was going to ask.
He's been playing with himself for 2 seasons, though.
So Victor Timely's temporal aura identifies him as He Who Remains when he sticks his head in the tunnel. Do you think that is because he becomes He Who Remains, despite the fact that he has been turned into spaghetti?
He who lomains.
Or
That's what he became.
will
for sure.
will any and every Kang variant that put their head in that machine be identified as He Who Remains? Because they say it's the temporal aura, and despite the fact that they are variants of the same being, they are experiencing and going through different events. I would suspect that would alter each one's temporal aura depending upon what they've been through. But that's I'm
and when
spitballing there.
then when they went to him in 1893 too, it specifically said branched timeline
Yeah.
at the bottom there too. It didn't say sacred timeline, so
Mhm.
Right.
It must just be any variant.
Yeah. I think that's how they're playing it.
Yeah. And they all just circle jerk back around to each other.
it's like an Ouroboros.
Yes, exactly.
The train.
Trying to think of anything else. I mean, yeah, I have no idea. It's just shit's gonna get fucked, as I like to say.
Yeah, it's great.
I
We're
just-
gonna find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
We need
That's what's
This
great
is
about
true.
this.
Mobius on a jet ski.
Yes.
I love that
Which-
meme of the guy with
from
no neck
some-
and a jet ski.
Which some I don't know, leaked stuff showed that he was, but I don't know. It could have been fake. They
Yeah.
do that a lot just to like.
Yeah, because there was that Infinity War
Up with
trailer
us.
too, where it had that shot of everybody running at the screen too. That wasn't in the movie, so
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or was
there's always that.
Dun dun dun. Or
Maybe
Hulk
all
being Hulk.
Maybe all the stuff I saw in that mid-season trailer, which doesn't really make sense math-wise because it's for the last 2 episodes, not the last 3 episodes.
Put the vibrator down.
I don't wanna.
Maybe all that stuff isn't actually stuff that's gonna be in it and anything. They just made a fake trailer.
Maybe there's a bonus episode, and that's why they said it's
Ooh.
mid.
Maybe.
No, they're not that smart.
Maybe.
I thought it would be fun. I mean, they erased their social media.
Yeah, that's wild. That they
Crazy
deleted
tits.
every
Wait, what?
post on the Loki Instagram account.
Yeah, on
and
the
there's
Loki
just one.
Instagram. Just
It's-
Miss Minutes being psycho.
It's in our. We had a screenshot of it in our memes.
It's the
section.
memes. Memes.
dang.
Yeah, she's
Feel
good.
bad-
Miss Minutes is
feel
going to come
bad
back
for the
online, and something
Intern that had to do that.
that's going to be the story somehow.
Yeah, I have. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. I love this. I love Loki. Love Tom Hiddleston. This has been great. And like fucking, like who would have thought Owen
I
Wilson
know.
in this?
Wow.
Never in a million years. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
There should have been a Lightning
Oh,
McQueen
wow.
variant in the voice.
There might be. You never know. Jet Ski McQueen.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's from the
Yes.
Planes universe.
Planes. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
It was.
Forgot
Dusty
about that.
Crop Hopper, as played by Dane Cook, with the same
Yes.
initials. I'm just realizing right now. Dusty Crop Hopper, Dane Cook.
Indeed.
Hmm,
Mr. Dane.
that
Cook.
works.
All right.
I love Dane Cook. Anywho, any other thoughts, Doctor? Are you gonna say
I just
something?
can't wait till the next episode to see what happens. And also, how are they going to wrap everything up in 2 episodes? I just don't
I
know.
don't know.
And like you
Maybe
said,
They
they're
better be
not,
really
Dun,
long.
dun, dun.
Well, they're not,
That's
because
what
there's
they
going to be a surprise 3rd episode after that, like Mike said.
That's right.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I don't think that's going to happen.
Surprise movie.
It'll be a special presentation.
What wasn't it at the end of season? Like when season 1 was ending, I remember thinking, man, like how are they gonna, wrap all this up in like one more episode? And then, essentially they didn't, because
Mhm.
they then said, here's season 2, which this is the only one that's got a second season,
right.
So
right?
far.
Not counting What If.
Right.
What If
Just-
apparently is gonna have 3, but animated stuff is always different.
Yeah.
Mhm. Indeed.
But I have a sinking feeling that this is going to be the last really good MCU show that we get for a while. Like it's
Don't
going to
you
be
say that.
years
True.
before we get
Don't you
something.
say that. Don't
this
you put
good
that
again.
evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I think it might be the last good MCU anything for a while.
Oh,
Sadly.
Well, let's see
What?
what's coming
What?
up.
I still
Marvels is
have.
Hell
Oh well, actually, I'm excited for that.
Higher, further, faster.
So we basically
Come
already
come
went
on. Come on,
through the upcoming shows, the soonest ones. What If,
Yeah, the
Echo,
next most recent-
Agatha,
yeah,
Ironheart,
yeah.
Daredevil. There also apparently is a Wakanda series in the works, 2 Spider-Man series in the works.
Oh yeah, the freshman year.
freshman
and
year and
sophomore
sophomore
year.
year. Does it say? And then Marvel Zombies, Wonder Man, Untitled Nova series, a 3rd
Is
series.
that like the
season of
science
What
series
If.
you used to watch in school?
Yeah.
Cosmos.
And then apparently something titled Vision Quest, which I imagine
Oh, yeah.
is
Oh,
about
yeah.
Vision.
Paul
Um,
Bettany, like,
Love Paul Bettany.
hinted or very vaguely hinted at stuff that he was doing for that when he was here for Comic-Con this year at Phoenix Comic-Con.
Mhm.
Like, he's like, I can't say too much, otherwise I will be killed by Kevin Feige snipers. But he said, he's like, it is quite literally like a double meaning for the title of the episode. And he's like, and that is all I will say.
And then
Vision is on a
Then he got
quest.
shot.
Yeah.
and
got pruned.
then
Yep.
Eternals is next, or not Eternals, that's the wrong thing. Marvels is next.
Yeah.
Next, like in a week. And a
Next
half?
week.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Um,
like in a week. Next
week and 2
Thursday.
days. Deadpool is in
Yeah.
May.
Week in one day.
Deadpool's
Or
in
no,
December
Deadpool's,
now.
yeah, Deadpool's
Oh,
in
is it?
September now.
Yeah.
Captain America New World Order, or
Brave
I think
New
that
World.
got changed. Brand new
Yeah.
world.
Brave New World.
Yeah, Brave New
Yeah,
World.
Brave New
I
World.
don't-
Something World.
New World Order has Hulk Hogan in it.
No.
That has a different Hulk in it. Yeah, but yeah,
got a racist
Captain
Hulk
America. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that wouldn't do well with if he was in Captain America 4.
He was in Rocky 4, wasn't he? What is
Isn't
he?
that? No, wait. Yeah. Yes.
2?
No.
He was in one of the Rocky movies. I know that.
Yeah.
I haven't
Who?
seen any of the Rocky movies.
Hulk
Hulk Hogan was
Hulk
wasn't
Hogan was
Mr.
in-
Clubber Lang.
Yes, he was in the 3rd.
Mr.
Rocky
Nanny?
movie.
Third.
Thunderlips in the flesh, baby.
Thunderlips. Speaking of thunder, then Thunderbolts is apparently December.
Yes.
Next December, I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Yes,
Maybe.
obviously.
December 2024 is what it says right now.
I heard Thunderbolt
Blade.
and Blade was.
I'm just reading what's listed on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I heard
I
Blade.
just saw it today.
Okay, so it may not have been
So
updated.
I
yet.
don't know.
Blade is
Yeah.
listed
Yeah.
as February of 2025. Fantastic Four is May of 25. Avengers Kang Dynasty
Oh,
is
boy.
May of 26. And Avengers Secret Wars is May of 27. And then to be
Slice of
announced
Legend.
are Armor Wars, which was originally going to be a series, and they decided to make it a movie.
Yeah.
A Spider-Man No Way Home sequel, a Shang-Chi sequel, and an untitled X-Men film.
Wee.
Jesus.
And that's not counting
It's just
the.
it's hard. It's hard when like we did such a good job with the Infinity Saga.
Right.
Obviously there was duds at the beginning, and I've talked about this before. Like we have recency bias with how the Infinity Saga ended, and it ended so well, and it was like such a great culmination of 22, 23 films. But at the same time, I feel like their setup of all these characters in the multiverse saga is just not hitting the same. And clearly it's not supposed to be the same. It's two different sagas. But I feel like, I don't know, I just don't connect to the characters as much. And it's not for lack of trying or lack of, well, these aren't my Avengers. Like some people are, but I don't know, like there's just like a different vibe to it. Obviously a good amount of the movies have not been great, to say the least, and the shows have been good. To like Loki's been amazing, but like most of them are just good, or like I've completely forgot about them, like fucking Winter Soldier.
Really?
Why am I blanking on the
I
name?
like that one.
I wanted to like it so bad,
Wait,
but
the-
it didn't.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
The show.
Yeah, Falcon
The
and
show.
Winter Soldier.
oh yeah,
show.
okay, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I
okay.
wanted, like, I liked it.
It wasn't the
but
greatest, but I definitely liked it.
I don't remember anything about it at this point.
It got
Sam Wilson
it got
couldn't get a bank loan.
modified from COVID, because originally, if what I've heard is
Yeah,
true,
there's
it was
like a
originally supposed to be like
virus.
about a bioengineered plague terrorist attack, and then COVID happened and they
Mm.
rewrote a bunch of it, and it just
Yeah, like
didn't
the
land.
flag sitters
Oh.
were trying to steal vaccines.
Yeah,
Oh
and
shit!
that yeah.
Yeah.
Should have just left it.
So
Wow.
Interesting.
here's something that I want to put out. So like we talk about how, and this is criticism I've heard a lot, that this since Endgame it doesn't feel the same. So remember, Iron Man was 2008. Endgame was 2019. We are, if we take the from
This is
Iron Man
F1.
to Endgame and Endgame to now, if we take them and put them next to each other, we are in this section of the MCU. We are in the equivalent of what would have been Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. That's 10 movies into the MCU. We're 10 movies separated from Endgame with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So that's not that deep into the building up of the structure from Iron Man to Endgame, from this to what's going to be Secret Wars. Like, we're not
Yeah.
that far into it
I
yet.
still have
Although-
hope, and that's what I
Mhm.
always bring up too. Like there was a lot of duds. Like we still have a long way to go. We have these movies that have developed these characters, but like may have not been the best for whatever reason. But they're still enjoyable movies. Like I just rewatched things a couple months ago or earlier this year before I think Quantumania. And
Welcome to the show.
I was like Eternals, Shang-Chi, like all of those. Obviously No Way Home was really fucking good, but like all of those ones I was like, I'm having a good time. This is fun.
But were those part of the
Um,
next series or just the end game cooldown?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
No Way
technically
Home
part
was
of the
like-
multiverse saga.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
it's
say
part
the
of the
only
next phase.
the one major difference with the Multiverse Saga as compared to the Infinity Saga is the amount of hours of story we have in this
Because of the
as compared
shows.
because of like the shows. I think
Yeah.
just like in
Mhm.
phase 4 alone, I think there was more hours of story with just in phase 4 than there was in all of phase 1, 2, and 3.
Mm.
So people are starting to
Really?
feel burnout.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it's also a lot to watch. Like clearly for Endgame, it was a lot to watch, but it was just the movies and it was
Yeah, there's no
11
series.
years. Now it's like, yeah, you gotta watch everything.
Yeah, it was like every
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
a movie or a show
It's a
came
lot.
out for a while.
Well, it's
Mhm.
also very similar in the comics to Marvel had the Ultimate Universe where they came out and they reset everything. So they're like, you don't have to know any backstory. You can start fresh. And then as it went on, the Ultimate Universe, 10 years in, it was like, okay, now you got to read 10 years of comics to get caught up on the Ultimate book. So like they had the exact same problem. And then they're like, all right, the Ultimate
Mhm.
Universe, we're just going to wipe it away. So I'm just wondering, when is the MCU going to get reset? Because I cannot see any. Oh, go ahead.
This could reset it.
I read a
Although-
That
rumor
would
that
be
Yeah, I was
Loki's
gonna say,
resetting it.
if it did, but they
I feel
won't.
like that.
I've seen a
Rumors about Secret
lot
Wars
of
doing
stuff.
that too, like a soft reboot.
So
There's that Variety article that came out today too, but also that Variety article also seemed like
Oh,
it had like an
Variety.
axe to grind with like certain things about it, with the way it was trying to like phrase how certain things happen and whatnot.
Phrase
So I
it.
don't know
Yeah.
how impartial
Um,
Still
the
doing
reporting was on that.
Or you can say, Vactor, you didn't see a future
Oh,
where what?
I can't see a future where they don't reboot Iron Man, where they leave Tony Stark dead. Like I can't see that, or Steve Rogers. Like at some point, I feel like they have to either Secret Wars bring in a Tony Stark and a Steve Rogers from another universe or reality, or just
Don't
just
replace my
completely-
husband.
So I was
Which
just
one? You got too many husbands. Every
I
every
can
single
have all the
She's a-
husbands, all
she's
the
a reverse
boyfriends, all the
polygamist.
wives, all the girlfriends. No, it's polyamory. Get it right. There's a big difference.
seriously,
Yes, Johnny.
I want to say it because, like, I was just thinking about this. I'm like, because I was a proponent for recasting Iron Man, and I was and it's like, but are people gonna? And in my head, I go, are people gonna accept recast Iron Man and recast Captain America, etc.? But they do it with Batman all the goddamn time. So just
or
do
Spider Man.
Mm,
yeah, or Spider Man.
yeah.
Think about
Like-
Spider Man.
I mean,
And
Batman, it's like 50.
That then made
we
No Way
accept
Home
or we
very
don't.
very good.
I mean,
because of that.
technically, Captain America's always he's been recast.
Yes.
James Bond, the whole franchise, James Bond gets recast all the time.
Mhm.
It's because James Bond's a
Mhm.
Time Lord.
Is that like an actual
Yeah.
fan? I don't want to know. I don't want to.
He's also the worst secret
Tangent
agent ever,
time.
if you think about it. Everyone knows who he is.
That's true. Secret agent May.
I did see
Secret
a
Agent
a
Man.
suggestion the other day is that if Tom Hiddleston does ever decide to leave the role of Loki, someone suggested that Robert Sheehan come on as a new version of Loki. For people who might not know, that is, he's Klaus in the Umbrella Academy. He was also in the British TV series Misfits.
Robert. I need to get a
I
Among
can
visual.
see
other
them
Nope.
doing it.
Yeah, let's see your
Robert.
future husband. Yeah, let's hear it.
Why phone work for me? Oh, yes, I see. Interesting. He's kind of the slightly better version of Ezra Miller. He gives me the same vibes.
He's definitely a better version of Ezra Miller.
Yeah, more than a better version. I don't know him well enough, so like he could have a whole cult of underage kids following him, and we don't know.
I mean,
knows?
in season 3 of, or was it season 2? No, season 2 of Umbrella Academy, he did have a cult of kids following him.
There you go.
Well,
But it was the 60s.
The
so.
character,
I
not the
forgot about
actor.
that. Yeah.
Life imitating art.
Um, Yeah, Vactor, you alluded to it a little bit. I was going to talk about like I don't personally have superhero fatigue. I don't know if
I don't either.
Yeah.
I am
It's a
starting
thing.
to get.
I'll still watch everything. It's more so just like I'm not feeling it. And to clarify what I said before, I'm not feeling it in terms of like I'm really feeling the characters themselves yet. I still have hope. Could change.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Arrowverse from the first episode of Arrow all the way to the last episode of Flash. So
Love Stephen Amell. He's awesome.
Also,
Big fan.
Johnny, if you haven't seen it yet, there's
His
a
abs
new
are really nice to touch too.
There's a new commercial that Ryan Reynolds did with Grant Gustin that came out today. I showed it to Vactor, but it's
really?
What?
It's a very funny, on the nose, making references to the Flash in that episode. I'll send it to you guys after this. But
interesting.
Vactor saw he thought it was funny.
I was going to say I am getting a little bit of fatigue on multiversal stuff because while I love alternate reality stories and things like that, everybody's doing them.
Yes.
Everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone's
It's like we had a
doing
bunch
it.
of
Just
movies
a
and TV
big
shows
ol'
with blue people.
big ol' orgy.
His Dark Materials.
Mm.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
I guess
I
everybody
never
but
made it
Star
past the
Wars
first
isn't
few
technically doing
episodes of that.
multiverse. They did a different
They're on the
galaxy.
cusp.
Ah,
cusp.
they're about to.
Oh, good.
All of Vision's happened now.
Yeah. Well, Johnny,
Oh,
I also don't have superhero fatigue, but I've noticed my friends and family, they don't have the same amount of excitement when I'm like, oh yeah, let's go see the new Marvel movie. Let's go see the new DC movie. And especially in 2023, nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to go see the movies with me anymore.
No.
Whereas
So like common people definitely aren't in it. What?
peasants, yes.
No, like the
So-
common people, like day-to-day people that don't keep up on everything. Why is that so funny?
Yeah.
Just the way I know what you mean.
Like the
Like
muggles.
casual,
The
The
muggles.
muggles. That's
Lady
what my dad
Kayla.
likes to say.
the common folk.
Not like that.
Pish
but like
tosh, the common
everyday
folk.
general people, the general public.
General
How about
people.
that? General people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. God damn it. Like, yeah, like I feel like even with, unfortunately, with Star Wars stuff too, like I'll tell people like, oh, I'm watching Ahsoka. They're like, what? I'm like, wait, don't you watch Star Wars? They're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, my soul. It's starting to get that way with the MCU though.
Mhm.
And it breaks my heart. But you know, they did it
mean,
to themselves.
It's true.
I think
Well,
They
the
could have also
common-
maybe like given it a little bit of time. In
Not jump
between
right into it.
things.
I mean they
Yeah,
kind of
it
did.
like it was like
because of
Endgame. What, like 2
2020.
months? No,
No,
it was
there
like
was a
2 months
full
between like
year of-
Endgame and
Uh-oh.
Far From Home.
Yeah, and then there was 2 years
Well, yeah.
between Far From Home and Black
Yeah.
Widow.
Yeah.
But
There's a big gap in time
WandaVision and
between those.
Loki were before that.
Hit up Wikipedia. Let's go.
Eternal. Wait, because it was Black Widow and then Eternals, then Shang-Chi, or was it Shang-Chi? Something
Black
like that.
Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals.
But they,
WandaVision
yeah,
was
it wasn't
2021.
planned. It wasn't planned. The thing is, they were planning on just like keeping them going with
And I know
Far From Home.
originally it was Falcon and Winter Soldier supposed to be the first thing. That
And
came out, I
WandaVision
think.
wasn't until January of 2021 either. So there was nothing from July of 2019 until January of 2021.
I thought there was.
We were just snapped
What am
at
I
that point.
thinking
Everything was
of?
happening. We just couldn't see it.
We are right now in the MCU timeline in the first few episodes of WandaVision within the real world.
Yeah.
Hey,
also,
let's do... Go
Oh,
ahead.
real quick. I've also been interested when this point we're at right now, when it was going to happen. Even when I was watching the Infinity Saga, I was saying, okay, at some point the actors are going to either age out of their parts or they're going to become disinterested and no longer want to play those parts. What does Marvel do
Yep.
then? Because it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. So what is their plan moving forward when it's not like the comics where you can kind of just keep them the same, keep them around 30 years old for 50 years, right? Like
Didn't they
you
just
keep on-
de-age Harrison Ford 50
Or
years?
like The Simpsons.
No,
Bart Simpson
William
has been
Hurt
like
turned into
12
Hurt.
years old for 30
Right.
some odd years.
Yeah,
Yes.
like they de-aged
So I'm like-
Mark Hamill, but it's not Mark Hamill.
Right.
It's not Mark Hamill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how do
it's
they
a
move
fake.
forward? They have to
Ask Ed Norton
recast.
how he moved forward.
Oh yeah, they have to recast, or they
Or
have to just
Terrence.
reset the universe.
Well, it depends, right? Because everybody, comics fans and diehard geeks and superhero fans are excited
The
about
non-common people.
the nobility are excited about the prospect of like the Young Avengers and them moving towards that, which they planted seeds for. But your casual audience, your general moving going
Common.
public, who
The commoners.
It's a common
let's face
folk.
it, that's who
Casual
they
fans.
make the movies for. They do not make the movies for us. They know we're gonna go see them regardless.
Yeah, and I mean, there's like Easter eggs and stuff, but I just love when they don't cater to the common folk. It's so much nicer.
So
Loki kind of doesn't cater to the common folk. That's probably why.
Yeah,
the common folk are not gonna
This is Jersey.
probably not gonna care about the West Coast Avengers or the New Avengers or the Young Avengers. So what draws
They're like,
them in?
we want
just-
our OG Avengers and
want
OG
the Great Lakes
Avengers
Avengers.
only.
Yeah, what's left? Thor. Thor's the only
Thor, Hawkeye.
And Hulk.
Hawkeye might not be able to act anymore.
Technically.
so-
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Hawkeye, they already kind of
Wait,
did
why?
hand off there with
What I
Kate
mean?
He got
Bishop.
hit by a snowplow.
Oh,
It's a-
duh.
It's all right. He did.
How'd I forget that?
He came to Phoenix.
okay
Comic-Con this year.
now.
He was okay.
He is.
Yeah.
I didn't know where he
Oh,
was in his recovery.
Yeah. He's from the
Spider-Man.
valley. They're built different
They're
there.
built different
Yeah.
there.
No,
Spider-Man.
I'm not even
He's
kidding.
doing renovations on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
he has that show. Spider-Man,
Forgot about
but
that, too.
that's such an odd thing because of the weird rights stuff with Spider-Man and Sony and whatnot. But then I guess, but you know, you probably wouldn't suspect, although it is still Spider-Man, you wouldn't suspect that Spider-Verse would be as successful as it was just on paper. Like looking at it, and is the general movie-going public going to be interested in Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
And they were. They turned out in droves. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
As they
I'm not
should
an analyst.
be. The problem is there's those people that are like, animation is for kids. I won't go
True.
see it.
There's
It's
people that
fucking
are like that.
annoying. That's like
Yeah, damn
across
straight.
Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, like two of the best movies just like ever, not just like comic books.
So
It's
is
good.
it the introduction of mutants and the X-Men that's going to bring people back into or keep people coming to theaters to see the MCU stuff?
Miss
If
Marvel.
that's the case,
I
we got a
think-
couple of years then.
I think the X-Men is for sure going to bring a ton of people in.
They teased it a little bit with Miss Marvel too,
Yep.
Yeah.
with her being a mutant
It
and like even playing the. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure
On
there's going to
cue.
be a bunch of stuff in Deadpool 3, obviously.
Yeah.
There's so like if half of what they say
Ooh,
is
I'm
true, that movie's just
excited.
got so much in it.
It's just gonna jizz everywhere. It's gonna be great.
Hey, let's do some memes. We're
Yes.
On that note,
we can continue
Memes.
to chat after the memes, but let's do some memes.
Yeah.
For episode
that Sylvie?
4 of
Yeah,
Loki.
that's
Sylvie's excited for memes, as she should be.
First is going to be our spoilers without context. Kayla and I both made our own spoilers without context memes for this. Mine will be up first, and then we'll see Kayla's for episode 4 of Loki. So I have
That's yours.
the Neuralizer for them wiping the TVA, all the TVA agents' memories. The orange box. had to do the orange box for, well, the orange box.
Nice.
I'm proud of that one. I'm gonna give myself
Clearly.
the old Barry Horowitz pat on the back. And then the hot cocoa.
Barry Horowitz.
Yep. The hot cocoa, which should be self-explanatory, and then the you didn't say the magic word.
And
Only someone said you
uh,
better hang on to your butts before he walked out.
hold on to your butts.
So here are Kayla's spoilers without
Yes.
context for episode 4.
And clearly we had similar ideas.
Nice.
So yeah, once again, prisoner of Azkaban. Harry knew he could cast the Patronus because he had already done before, and time travel, and Loki printing himself, blah, blah, blah. Hot chocolate. Newman. And then, of course, spaghetti because he who remains.
He who low
Yep.
names.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah.
That's it.
We don't consult each other before we make these. And Kayla sent me a message and like, I uploaded my spoilers without context. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I went down there and I said, damn it, Kayla. Because we both used the hot chocolate and the
Ned.
Dennis Nedry. We do that for Trek Retrek sometimes, and it's always
Yeah.
fun when we.
It's quite funny.
Yeah,
I
I say
swear.
if Kayla is the meme queen, so if I'm using the same picture she is, I'm in good shape.
There you go.
You are.
So now we'll go into regular memes for episode 4 that Kayla has kindly curated for us.
Yes. He who ramens.
Nice.
So you can see the ribs.
Yeah, you can see the ribs.
There you go.
The look
Yeah.
on his face is just.
Oh God, I couldn't. Like he felt that.
Yeah, it would be like that. That would be your face too.
Yeah.
Where do you think the first
It
part of his
real
body
bad.
was that became spaghetti?
Probably the toes. It seems like it went up.
Yeah,
What the
did
fuck
seem
was that
like-
ending? Did the timeline just reset?
I'm pretty sure. That's
Yeah,
what the case is.
I hope so. Yeah, there's a lot just about the ending, and it's like
Hey, look,
it's
it's
of
Spider-Man.
Tom Hiddleston too. Yeah, and Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. It's like they're trying to absolutely destroy me. I'm gonna go insane for the next episode. Yeah. Yep. My jaw on the floor. I love that screaming kid one. Thinking about how Mobius likes to eat / drink when he's feeling down or stressed. So him getting that hot chocolate really shows how hurt he was by what happened. Yeah, it's
Little
really
Mobius pick me up.
cute. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep,
God.
he who remains. There we go. Which that was definitely like a GIF or video. And
Yeah.
that happens to be when I screenshotted it. Extra gross. Yeah. This clock right here is sick in the mind. It is the literal definition of a psycho. Could not agree more.
Yeah,
That
keep in mind,
face,
this
like-
face that she is making is watching people get squished in a orange box.
Yeah.
It's like who's the biggest villain in the MCU? Not Thanos. No,
Miss
not Ultron.
Minutes.
Not
She-
King.
Like
Miss Minutes.
she's like the Umbridge of the MCU.
Oh, yep.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Miss Minutes. I must not tell lies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of us.
And again, everybody just screaming at the end of
I
the
like
episode.
that.
Yes.
I like that Ant-Man is on there twice.
Yeah.
But I like that it's the
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp one.
Little Ant-Man. Sylvie mad that the timeline is broken, even though she's the one that caused the whole thing. What?
It's true.
One more reason she just needs to chillax.
Yeah. Take his
Yeah,
Xanax.
so
Yeah.
this is the Loki Instagram account now. This is all it is. It's just this picture. And I'm guessing this has a video icon. So does it do that?
Yeah, it's just the
They deleted. I don't know how
Yeah.
many posts they had before that, but they deleted everything and just posted
probably
the
did.
temp pad.
They probably
and
just
go through an archive.
archived
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm. Me right now. Yeah, there's a lot of like Tom Hiddleston. It's great. I mean, I'm not complaining. When Dox and the others got crushed by the shrinking box. Yeah.
Nice.
Burn. Breaks my heart because Mobius is literally a bean. He just wants to talk about his interests in jet skis and eat pie and play video games. He was just a silly little innocent guy when the TVA kidnapped and brainwashed him. Stop being mean to him, for fuck's sake. Yes.
Oh, that reminds me, where OB was like, "Did you download On Station Games again?" He's like, "No."
I won't make that mistake twice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What games was Mobius downloading? Probably Wave Race 64.
There you go.
Burn.
Wave Race 64.
Yeah.
Rhymes with
That's like
rhymes with corn nub.
it's like you cut out, so I have no idea what you said.
Rhymes with corn nub.
Oh, of course.
It's
You
gotten
should not
too
be surprised.
Wave Race 64 is like the last major jet ski racing game, right? Like that's
Is it the only jet?
Yeah, I
ski
can't
race?
think of any
jet
other
ski
ones.
racing game. Yeah. So
The
yeah,
other
it
video game I
was
can think of that has jet skis in it is Uncharted.
maybe, but I think he would just want just
Yeah,
a jet
just
ski
Wave
game, so
Race,
it's
yeah.
got to be Wave Race.
Whatever you do, don't think about how Mobius died without finding out Loki defended him. Yeah, that makes me really sad.
I don't think I mean I don't think he's technically dead. I don't think any of them are
They're
dead.
all dead. Dead. What the fuck is this shit? Yeah. So many Tom Hiddleston ones. He's taking out the trash. Silky, Miss Minutes, Michael.
I have to say I don't understand this one.
Well,
I know
Silky
what
is
this is.
Sylvie, and Loki. That's their ship name.
Oh, okay.
Miss Minutes is also trash. I actually don't know
I
Michael.
understand
Waldron.
that. Yeah, that's the I don't get that one.
He wrote on the first season, right?
Oh,
Okay.
and is that supposed to be Mobius?
Yeah, that is Mobius.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Me while watching the scene. Fuck. I know it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, it does because there was no like suspense. Like he's running, then poof, gone. Like, wah!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when
Ramona
Ramona got
got
pruned.
Yes, very sad. Anyway, that one's one of my favorites. Okay, his name is Mobius for a reason. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's what I was talking about earlier. Waiting for episode 5 finale next week. I'm fine.
Your
That's why I
noise
triggered that.
cancellation killed your scream. It didn't
Yep.
happen.
Did it again.
Did it again.
You gotta turn it
Damn
off.
it. Do I have noise cancellation?
You got to take out echo
Oh, I
cancellation
do.
probably.
Reduce mic background noise.
There we go.
That
Yay.
worked.
Third time's the charm.
That's it.
Uh-oh.
Those are the memes.
Yay. Memes,
Golf
memes,
clap.
memes, memes,
Golf
memes,
clap.
memes. Anyhow, I think that's it. Any other last minute thoughts on Loki before we
Great
get
show.
the heck out of here?
Loki is good.
Tomorrow
Loki
is
is
gonna be
great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, today.
excited.
Yeah, technically. Yeah, for Mike and I, it's today now. It's,
Oh.
it's after midnight.
And I also
Okay.
very clearly like the show Loki.
Yes.
Good
I mean,
to
you
know. I'm
named your
glad
dog
that's the case.
Sylvie. You don't name animals after things you don't like.
And then get themed collars. Themed.
Yes.
tags.
And
Oh.
someone and his vibrator.
Kayla, I was
Hitachi.
telling Vactor and Mark before we went on.
Hmm.
We were curious
going.
why this made this noise, but
Uh-huh.
I noticed in this episode that
Still going.
this is in the sound mix when
Okay.
like Loki's holding the pruning rod there. Just it's just real low, and this is much louder. So it sounds
to
like they do
listen.
make this effect.
Too
I'll
bad
have
it
to
didn't make
listen
the like,
again.
cocking shotgun noise.
Well, that's what this is.
Oh. It's not
When you
as
turn it on,
prevalent.
it makes that, and then it has the pruning noise.
Nice.
You missed a couple.
Y'all
times.
better watch out.
Yeah, you don't think it's sensitive enough. You
Do you have a harness to put it in?
I'm gonna get one.
Ooh. Nice.
I don't have one yet, but I'm gonna get one.
We are geeks.
Nothing wrong there.
Speaking of,
Get a harness to
thanks.
so you can strap it in.
Strap on
the vibrator.
Strap on the vibrator. There we go. Vactor space. Every time. It's great dramatic effect. Anywho, thanks y'all for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, if you guys want to let everyone know where they can find you, if you have anything coming up they can look forward to. Mark and Mike, do you want to go first for Holdo?
Mark can speak for me. He knows it all by heart.
Hold on, let me put my hand in the appropriate spot to make you speak.
What?
You said to me that Mark can speak for me.
Hey.
Anyways, for November, Mike and I were going to be doing characters we're thankful for in the Star Wars universe, and the episode that we were going to do first for that was going to be about Leia Organa. So that one will be coming up soon, sometime in November. So I'm not. It'll probably be maybe next Wednesday. And then, other than that, we're not sure of the next character after that, but that's at least the first planned one there. But you can find Holdopod if you go to Linktree /Holdopod. That's links for all of our places everywhere online. You know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Anchor, all those places.
Listen to us everywhere.
Yeah, I'm saying old names for some of these places, but those are the names that are easier or not stupid to say. So,
X.
Gonna give it to you. And if you like, Vactor was on has been on episodes of Holdo too, and then Kayla and Johnny have also been on an episode of Holdo. So if you liked all this interaction here, you can find that interaction there too. So yeah.
Very nice.
Okay.
Vactor, what about you?
Yes, youtube.com/Vactor. You can find out what's going on in the Vactorverse. We're talking about Loki. We're talking about all the things that we are having fun talking about here in the Geek Universe, but we're doing it in the Vactorverse. So check it out, youtube.com/Vactor. And we just got super thanks and super chats. So if anybody wants to donate, you can feel free. Give us super thanks, super likes, and we can put that money back into the show and redistribute the funds, and we can all become spaghetti too. Yeah.
Every penny counts.
Every penny counts.
Add penne. Perfect.
If you want more puns like that, listen to the Holdopod.
There's lots there.
Yes. Yes, indeedy. And if you want to see more of us, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that me big
Bell
brain.
icon.
God damn it.
Froze.
You're frozen in time, just like Miss Minutes.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your
Kinda, sorta.
video is catching up
OB
to your.
It's
OB is
because I
rebooting
have
your
no way
system.
There you
to connect to the internet. Just
You're
let me
good.
know when I'm good. Okay,
You're
I'm
good.
good.
You're
Okay,
You're
smack that like, smack that subscribe, smack that bell icon if you like what you see. You can follow us on social media at GTFO channel. If you want to email us, our email is channelgtfo@gmail.com. It is the reverse of our socials. And coming up, well, for me tomorrow, I will be on Victoria's Cantina, Friday, I'll be on Victoria's Cantina. Tomorrow, Trek Retrek as usual at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. And then, oh my gosh, next Friday, the 10th, we will be talking about episodes 5 and 6 of Loki and doing a season wrap up as well, and doing another massive That's What They Said with the maybe we'll be doing it with Dole and Yoko, but there'll be some surprise guests as well showing up, so look forward to that. And I think that's it, right, Johnny?
For now, yes, that is what's
Yeah,
up
for now.
for us.
Yeah.
Trek
For now.
Retrek tomorrow. You on
Yes.
Victoria's Cantina
Victoria's
Friday,
Cantina.
and then next Friday,
Mhm.
Loki wrap up. Cannot
Yes,
wait.
indeedy.
I mean,
Loki wrap up.
Well, it'll be
I'm
fun.
excited for that. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thanks everyone for geeking the F out with us this evening. Or if you're watching on the replay, thanks for joining. Make sure to leave a comment. Now Vactor is frozen. Mew Mew. Oh my god, wait, is that the popcorn bucket one? Because I have that too. I have that too. It's just I'm obviously not home right now, so
I don't think my Mac
have
does
it.
that yet. No. Yeah.
All right. Oh, he's got the.
Oh
Infinity
god, here we
Gauntlet.
go.
Yep.
He's about to
The
snap.
Iron Man Infinity Gauntlet. Not just
There
any
you go.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think that wraps it up. So thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks again to Vactor, Mark, and Mike.
Thank you.
And
Absolutely.
remember, for all time.
All.
Always.